this side, please. White D. Here comes, doesn't make it. Yep.
My name's Andrew Douglas. I'm from Cambridge, New Zealand. I'm the head coach here at Old Glory DC.
Great feet, Daddy.
Hold him up, hold him up, hold him up. More. Our ball.
Good talk, Jake.
Obviously we're a new franchise, a new club in the MLR, so we're starting from scratch. Rugby is pretty new to a US culture. There's a fairly strong underbelly already here, but part of my job is to grow a Washington DC franchise that's going to be strong and proud, and
Let's go again.
creates a culture not just at a professional level but right through a club system and collegiate as well, and gives young people something to strive for. So we're looking at a strong culture here, because if we can get that right, players will want to come and play and people want to come and watch. So I guess I'm here trying to encourage all that.
There is a purpose to everything you do. So let's make sure, please, you're buying into that, because right now you're not. Too many guys laughing and not doing any work off the ball. Get back and get organised. Too many guys walking, get back in defence, or just trying to spoil a game. It's not good enough. We can't improve if that's how we're going to address these games. We must work harder, so change it. There'll be two fields, both on this yellow court here, running up and down that way. White v blue, green v red on this side, please. White v blue there, let's go.
Same game, Craig.
Same game.
We are building this from nothing. When I arrived here, we had a training pitch and nothing else. No changing room, no meeting room, no toilet facilities, nothing. So we've brought in the facility here, we've brought in a clubhouse that we call it. We're still building IKEA furniture, as you can see. We're on temporary tables, but that's part of the story. That's going to be part of the history of the club. As I mentioned earlier, this has just been delivered on site. It's 2 portable cabins that we are going to transfer and transform and call home for the next 6 months. As you'll see, we've built our own medical room, which is really important. The guys come in here and they get strapped, and Megan looks after the boys. They get a bit of treatment, which is very important. Professional players need to be well looked after. So we've built our own purpose-built medical room. If you just look out behind you there, we've got quite a big space. Meeting area. We've got a small kitchen area in the corner. Coffee machines, toasty makers. Guys get plenty. And as I say, we are genuinely building this club from the ground up. And a lot of people talk about that and they mention it when they're talking about sport, but we're actually doing it here, and it's great to be part of that.
I do 4 gym sessions a week at the moment and three field sessions. So the field sessions are set up that Monday is a learning day, so information in with the game plan. We'll review the game before, and then we put together our plan. So I want to show you a few things about Atlanta. These are just guides. It is pre-season, so they may have changed a few things, I'm not sure, but it's just some general principles. Thursday's our fast day. We run intense time, so at the moment we're trying to get 25-30 minutes intense running into them full speed in terms of our attack game plan. Rugby is always moving, so you don't always get a perfect game where you just work up the field and score a try. Often you make an error or give away a penalty and you'll be put back down to your own part of the field. So it's trying to put them under pressure, fatigue them physically, and make them make decisions under fatigue.
It'll be different for some of us, and some stuff will be familiar, but this is the way that we're going to do it. Alright, so we all need to buy into it. When I say something to you, I'm just trying to help you to become better at our way of doing it. I'm not saying what you were doing was wrong, I just want you to do it our way. So don't take anything personal from me. What we're going to do, we're going to get into some primers. Alright, so first off, I want us just to go one-on-one. Okay, just a little bit of isometric loading, so it's just one-on-one, shoulder pressure, no big pushing, no legs moving or anything like that. Let's move quickly, our time is precious. Let's go.
Everything that we've been working through leading up to Thursday of the week We're doing it at full speed, but normally you would see us playing 15 versus 15, game tempo, game-like scrimmages, and then obviously, again, putting in a lot of physicality and tackling and whatnot, because that's just repetition. There's not much teaching to that. That's just getting used to putting your shoulder on bodies and taking shoulders to your body as well.
Chest, roll those shoulders, squeeze them down, lock them down, good work, break. Still a little bit of movement, so we just got to work on that core strength here a little bit.
It's not about who's the biggest and the best. Every single body shape can play rugby. You're tall and you're not that fast, we'll put you on a line-up. You're short and you're stocky and you're strong, we'll put you on a scrum. You're a bit smaller but you're quick, we'll put you out on the wing. It's not one body shape, it's not basketball where you have to be over sort of 6'5". It's not football where you have to weigh a huge amount, you're massive. It's just really inclusive, which is awesome.
We're going to play the best rugby when we're calm but we're fast, not frantic and fast, eh? When we know what we're doing, we know our roles.
We've got people on different pages. So that tells me maybe my game plan that I had for you inside wasn't clear enough. I just want decisiveness. My suggestion to that is Thretton and Mungo, you meet with Chicken, go through what you want, where you want it. Go before Sunday, please.
We've got really, really strong leaders in this team, people who have been to World Cups, people who have won championships in the past, and I think they've been very, very good thus far in terms of bringing the young players up to a certain level and holding those players accountable, but doing it in a way where it's not an us and them type mentality, it's a we mentality. So I think the individuals are what will set us apart. Now that's going to take time, it's not going to happen just yet. We have to go through some adversity, and as with most things in life, through adversity we will strengthen.
Hey, hey! Oh!
There's a famous quote by, I think it was Oscar Wilde, rugby is a hooligans game played by gentlemen, and I think that makes a lot of sense, you know. Out on the field we're hooligans and we get into it, but I think underneath it we're all pretty well behaved and well mannered and like to have a chat and that sort of thing.
Rugby Union, or simply rugby, is a full contact sport played by two teams made up of 15 players each. The games are split into two 40-minute halves on a rectangular field or pitch. Teams gain 5 points for a try, 2 points for a kick conversion, and 3 points for a penalty kick. The teams can move the ball up the field by passing laterally or behind them, but never in front.
Ball stays in.
Players can also move the ball up the field by kicking the ball in front of them. The athletes need to develop a unique combination of strength and speed and stamina to endure the grueling demands of the game.
We got ourselves a game! The score.
We don't want anything too state of the art. I think it keeps everybody's feet on the ground. It brings everybody together really closely.
I'm going to look back in this in 10 years' time when I'm sitting in my 55,000 seater stadium, and I'm going to laugh, Antonio. I'm going to say, remember when we were building IKEA furniture? Are you alright? You want me to step in?
No, I'm good. I'll figure it out. I'll break it. There's only 3 desks. Done.
Oh, come on.
It was quite funny. Just like last year, it was kind of like a rough year for myself. I came off the 7th circuit, and you know I wasn't really enjoying myself. Wasn't really enjoying the game. So I went back to my club in Auckland. So I played for a club called Ponsonby. And yeah, I went back there. I played a couple of games for the under-85s. And it was then I like started to find the enjoyment and the reason to why I love playing this game. And yeah, from then on I refocused my why and my drive to play the game. And then I was lucky enough that I got a phone call from Andrew, our head coach here at All Glory, and he just asked me if I was keen on an opportunity to play here in the US. And you know, I said yes straight away, and yeah, it was quite fast. Everything happened so fast, and I'm just, you know, I guess I'm lucky, you know, that I got that call, and someone like Andrew has given me a chance to be here.
I like competition because it keeps everybody honest. If you don't like that, then maybe you shouldn't play this level of rugby. So I need you to perform for the team. I need you to work hard for this team, not for you as an individual. If you've got any beef with anybody in this circle, get it sorted out now. I'm not your mum, I'm not going to act like your mum. So you make sure you sort it out, please. So let's make sure we're supporting everybody, whether you're starting, whether you're playing, not starting, you're behind everybody in this group now. We want everyone to succeed, because if we succeed, the team succeeds. That's the most important thing. Am I quite clear? I won't tolerate any sulking.
My name is Renata, Roberts-Tenana. I'm from New Zealand, small town called Ruatoria, on the east coast of the North Island. I've been playing rugby since I was probably about 5. It's kind of run in the blood. Dad's played a bit of code for New Zealand Sevens, and yeah, I'm making my own path at the moment. It's a technical sport, but it's quite simple. If you do your job, you're sweet. But if you're trying to do other people's jobs, then that's when it becomes an issue. But from what you were saying, like doing the gym, working out, doing your job specific stuff, whether you're back or forward, and being able to show up, sit in classrooms, take in knowledge, and then go and put it out on the field is it's a bit of an art. But once you get it, it's really rewarding. And because you're doing it with a team, it's that much more rewarding that all of you are feeling that satisfaction at the same time. So it is tough, but it's worth it in the end, especially when you're having fun with your mates. So I've had a few little niggles, but Shin Splints is the one that's causing me the most grief at the moment. And what Shin Splints are, I'm assuming, is a lot of running on heavy ground, like hard ground. As you can see, we've got AstroTurf outside, I think, from the videos, and it's not as soft as what a lot of people think. And the jarring and the explosiveness that you put onto the field there kind of creates this, this tissue,
inflammatory process.
Inflamed tissue in the leg, and you try and guts it out as much as you can, but yeah, I'm not as hard as I thought I used to be.
You're looking the wrong way. That's the wrong way round. Turn that right down the other way. So it's like that picture there.
I think the boys are fit and they're excited about playing. It's the same with our team who have had 3 or 4 games, I think, already against quality opposition, so they'll be well organised, and we're still a long way from being a finished product. And that's intentional. It's a long season. We'll try and get there. We've still got a little bit of organisation to complete, and it's probably something that will reflect come Sunday.
I think what a lot of people don't realize with rugby, I mean, yes, it is a very aggressive game. You don't have to be big, but you just have to have an aggressive mentality. Be willing to put your shoulder on any kind of size that comes at you. You do have to be explosive, you do have to be fast, aggressive, but you have to have the endurance to keep going because it doesn't stop.
Rugby is a unique sport. You know, a lot of people compare it to American football. American football is a 60-minute game that takes 3 hours to play. Rugby is an 80-minute game that takes 80 minutes to play. There's all these elements to the game: running, jumping, wrestling, all kinds of contact. If they're not robust enough for it, they're not gonna last.
The 15 players on each team are divided into forwards or backs, with each group having several positions. The game starts with a kickoff, similar to football, and the clock runs until the end of each 40-minute half. Moving the ball up the field in what is called open play to score or gain ground isn't easy, and there are a few ways to get the ball moving again if there's a tackle, foul, or if the ball goes out of bounds. One way is the ruck, which forms when a player gets tackled to the ground. Players from both teams come in and compete for the ball until the ball can be picked up at the foot of the player furthest back. A maul is similar, but happens when the player isn't tackled to the ground. Players bind together to keep moving or to push the other team back until the maul is over and the ball is passed back into open play.
There's a bit of a thing where a lot of teams back each other if you're kind of in a tussle with another guy. That shows no value that you're just going to grab somebody else's jersey. We know you're not going to throw a punch, you're going to cause a penalty. After we had settled our nerves, we decided that we were going to stop talking and we were going to start showing what we had on the field.
Arguably the two most difficult contests are the scrum and the line out. In the scrum, the 8 forwards from each team form a pack with a space between them called the tunnel. One of the backs, the scrum half, drops the ball into the middle of that tunnel and both packs compete for the ball. If the ball goes out of bounds, the forwards form into 2 lines with a tunnel between them at the touchline. A player throws the ball into the air and the others must compete for it, often by jumping high, supported by their teammates.
Both are new teams to the league. It was our first real full-on scrimmage with another MLR team. We had a lot of mistakes and a lot of things that we needed to smooth and polish up, but as far as our physicality and just the drive and want to play the game, that's something that you can't coach, and I think we've got that in spades. It definitely showed over the weekend.
Every time we heard the crowd going, it lifted us just that extra 1%. And I think like having a full capacity crowd like we did today, it really makes a difference when it gets into those tight areas and when you go to dark places, because as you can see it was like 10-7 for about 40-50 minutes of the game, and then towards the end when we started to lift that tempo, the crowd lifted at the same time and nothing was going our way. I think we had 70% of the ball was with the other team, so with that 30% we had, you know, we did well and we fought, and that's what we did, we just grinded it out.
That concludes the end of today's match. The final score, Atlanta 17 and Yale
It's hard sometimes to coach character and want and desire, and we showed plenty of that tonight. I thought, you know, we won 35-17, but if you looked at position stats, there's no way we should have won that game. But we tackled well, defended well, stuck to system, and then when we got the ball, we're lucky we got a bit of X factor, and it showed, I think. And defence is, everyone's talked about it already, it's all about attitude and character, and you brought that today. We've got enough individual talent, we saw that, we scored enough points. But I want to see us score points on what we're building as well, not just on the individual talent. But your heart and your soul, I can't question today, man. Your attitude, I can't question today. My challenge the next 2 weeks, man, you've got to want to listen, you've got to want to learn, and you've got to want to apply. Really proud of the effort, man. But I tell you what, come Monday next week, Tuesday next week, there's a lot of work to do. And I hope you're prepared to do it.
So we asked the players, what does the old glory man look like? Accountability, be prepared, responsible, knows when to put his ego on a hook, respects his brothers and others, finds solutions, not excuses, puts the team first. So there's all really positive things that we want the players to be. So it's not just about being a great rugby player, it's being a really nice and great individual. And that's really important for a team that's starting up. And as I spoke about earlier, I think Andrew and the owners have done a really good job putting this team together, because it's not just built on rugby players, it's built on the individuals and how they are as people. And so far we think we've got a really strong group of people, which is great.
Defensive fixtures to play what you see.
Up, up, up.
Yeah, shoulders on. 1 meter up. Oh, okay,